2020 Vision, a clear view of God's purpose for my life. Good morning, men and women of God, and Happy New Year. Pastor Donnell's sermon last week was How Clear is Your Vision? And today's sermon was Catch the Vision of God's Purpose for Your Life. Now today, we are going to make an attempt to do just that. In Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write the vision and make it plain. In reflecting on all the points Pastor Donnell gave us in the last week and this week's sermon, I can think of one creative way to help us stay on track with how God is leading us to his purpose for our life. 2020 Vision Board. This is a visual representation of Jeremiah 29:11. And you know what that says, right? I know the plans I have for you. Well, this will give us direction, clarity, and resilience during our journey. Vision with a purpose. As we move into our non-traditional part of the service, we are going to create our own 2020 Vision Board. And this board is going to help us to focus on what we need to bring into our life to model God's purpose for our life. This will be a place where you can visualize everything you want to achieve, experience, and feel during your Christian journey. So, at this time, you are going to receive a vision board outline. And I want you to use this outline to take personal notes for yourself as I walk you through a sample vision board, which is the one I created for myself. You will notice it is broken into 5 parts. We have our goals, our spiritual growth, our self-care, our blurred vision, and our inspirational quotes and scriptures. Moving on to self-care. How will I make sure my mind, body, and soul gets what it needs? This is the point where I'm thinking about cleansing and the feel-good movement. I will create a meal plan to keep me on track of eating healthy. I will cling to what is good, and then I would choose to be happy. Now, goals makes you think about how you would develop a clear view of God's purpose for your life. And when I chose and thought about my goals, I put that I will start my day with God. I will stay with God throughout my day. And then I will end my day with God. Next, we have blurred vision. Now, this one you really need to think about because I want you to identify some things or situations that block your view of God's purpose. Many times in life, there are things that distract us from our focus. And you will notice on my vision board, I have forgiving others, stop controlling, and getting rest. Finally, we have inspirational quotes and scriptures. And these are statements that speak to you and encourage you to press on towards the purpose that God has for your life. If you would notice, I have the negative mind will never give you a positive life. That speaks to me and encourages me to stay positive. I also have pray more, worry less. If I'm going to pray, I don't need to worry. And then I have placed on in different areas some of my favorite scriptures. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. And Proverbs 3:5-6, and Isaiah 40:31. And I have one more thing, and this is just for me. It's a keep in mind. So when I am feeling discouraged or distracted from my focus on God's purpose for my life and trying to get a clear vision of that, I have a keep in mind, and it is, God didn't forget about you. His timing is everything. And that just reminds me to try not to be anxious for things happening during my journey. Now that we have walked through a sample vision board, I would just want you to keep in mind that this is not a wish list. This is something we're creating to develop and reflect on so that we can walk the path towards our purpose for God. So that's why it's important that you put this somewhere in your home where you can be attentive to it. You can look at it daily, and you can make sure you are actually modeling and allowing this vision board to speak to you so that you can be victorious over whatever God has for you in your life.